Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at David Gilliland's M&Ms Ford for 2007. As always, let's take a quick look at the box right here. Got a nice render of the car on the front of the box. 38, David Gilliland, Robert Yates Racing, and M&Ms Racing. Got a front render of the car on this side. 38, you got David Gilliland's signature, M&Ms Racing. Made a total of limited edition of this thing. I always hated how in 2007 they didn't actually tell you how many were produced. They just said limited edition for everything. Which I'm guessing was just so they could produce more of something that they know was popular. Like, oh, this sold well. I think we should maybe make another 500 of them. That's my only guess. But I don't know. I do like to know if my car is one of 300 or one of 50,000. But some people probably don't care about that. But anyways, here is the car itself. This was the primary for 2007 for David Gilliland. And the primary M&M's car for 2007. This was the final year that Mars was at Robert Yates Racing before they moved to Joe Gibbs Racing with Kyle Busch. And it really wasn't that great of a year for Robert Yates Racing. It was kind of the nail in the coffin, one of the final nails in the coffin for that team. Because if you remember, in 2007, Mars sponsored both David Gilliland in the 38 and Ricky Rudd in the 88 full-time. They were their main primary sponsor of both cars. So as you can imagine, when they both left, or Mars left, both cars were left with any real sponsor, and like I said, it was kind of the final nail in the coffin for the team. This car is very unique in the history of M&M's cars for one specific reason, and that is the fact that the base design under the M&M's is actually brown. It is not yellow like we're used to on pretty much all of the primary plain M&M's cars. I'm going to say plain because somebody's going to be like, but the caramel car, what about the crispy car? Those were primaries. But I mean, of just plain, regular, normal M&M cars, we know it, not flavors. Which is very interesting because, as you know, like M&M's yellow is really M&M's peanuts. But they're kind of plain, generic, regular old M&Ms are brown. Their regular milk chocolate M&Ms, the packaging is brown. So it's always been kind of weird how they seem to be very hesitant to make a brown car. And this was really the only primary M&M's car that is brown, or really the only M&M's car in general that is brown. The closest we've gotten to this would be Kyle Busch's 2012 primary, in which they had the kind of chocolate splash river thing around the whole bottom of the car. But this was definitely interesting for the time, just for the fact that it is brown. And it is chocolate, too. I don't know if that's coming across on camera, but there is, like, you can see, like, chocolate drops and chocolate swirls and stuff in the brown. They actually made it look like it's full-on chocolate under the car, which is kind of nice. But anyways, let's do a quick 360 of the car. David Gilliland actually sat on the pole for the Daytona 500 in this car. The year started off not looking too bad for Robert Yates Racing, but they just struggled the entire year, and it's no surprise that Mars wanted to jump ship to go to Joe Gibbs Racing, where they now win just about every year. I do still think it is kind of cool how in 2007 they sponsored both cars, where you had the 38 was a primary M&M's car, and the 88 was a primary Snickers car. That just makes for a cool set, but I don't know. I think they really started to stop caring about this team, too, because they really stopped making diecast. They skipped a lot of diecast for both drivers in this year. They made a few, but I mean, like, the Halloween car, for example, both drivers ran an M&M's Halloween car, and neither of them were offered. And that's just kind of sad, because M&M's cars, Halloween's cars have been offered, like, every single year. Or maybe they were offered and canceled, I don't even know. But anyways, let's get down to sponsors. On the hood, you have one big red M&M. I do kind of like how that looks, where it's just one giant red M&M. Got Ford Fusion, number 38, and Robert Yates Racing. Down the side, you have M&M. You've got City Financial, Ray Bestis Brakes, and Safety Clean. You've got Mac Tools and City Financial on the C post. And on the B post, you have Coca-Cola, Ford Fusion, City Financial, Snickers, Milky Way, and M&M's. Just got your regular contingencies and stuff right there. On the back, you have red and yellow, looking scared. You got Fusion. You got 38. I'm guessing that says Robert Yates Racing or something. Yeah, it is. On the deck lid, you got Pedigree. This is number 696. Got the same stuff down the other side, beyond the fact that they actually switched the M&M's colors around, if nobody knew that. It's kind of funny how people still say the cars can't be asymmetrical at all. But the M&M's cars can be asymmetrical. It's just the fact that it actually looks like one car. That's kind of what they care about. Like, the Terry Labonte looked like two different cars if you looked at it from both sides, where this one you can look at it and be like, oh, it's the M&M's car. But anyways, let's take a look under the hood. Got nothing on the inner side of the hood. There's the engine detail. Only been 10 years, and it's 10 times better than what we have now. Take a look under the deck lid. Got your typical fuel cell and such back there. The roof flaps do, of course, open. And there's the underside of the car, if you want to see that. Like I said, this kind of is a footnote in the kind of Mars M&Ms car history. Wasn't really a very successful year for them, but like I said, it is really cool how it is unique and the only M&Ms primary that is not yellow. Once again, I'm going to say primary, not flavor colors, because no, Crispy and the Caramel car were technically the primaries, but they don't count. They're flavors. They're not just a regular M&Ms car. I have to keep saying that because I know somebody's going to be in the comments like, what do you mean it's the only one? The Crispy car was green. And those people are just annoying. But anyways, they made a few different cars for David Gilliland in 2007. They made this one. They made the red, white, and blue one. They made his pink one. And they made his Shrek one. So you have your choice. You still have a few. Like I said, I'm really just disappointed they never made the Halloween car for either driver. One car that I'm really trying to get but just can never find is that they made Ricky Ruggs. They made a Snickers Dark car for 2007. It was kind of the same flame design, but it had like purple metallic flames. It's a really cool looking car, but that one just does not pop up anywhere. That's one that's really on kind of the top of my list to find. I probably want to get the red, white, and blue car for David Gilliland because it is also brown as the base, so it kind of makes a cool set with this one. But if you want this car, it's really not too hard to find. You usually get about 40, 50 bucks pretty easily. But I think that's $3 to say. This has been a review of David Gilliland's M&Ms Ford for 2007. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.